can see your
Okay. Oh
screen.
my gosh. It's been a long week of, it has been nothing but a white box for folks. So I'm very glad you can see my screen. Well, hi, both Margarita and Julia here with us today, but also hi to anyone who might be watching this back later. Like Liz said, I'm Roger Strimming, Community Engagement Manager with Findhelp. And today we're going to go over just a couple of simple tools that you have access to once you claim to help you make sure that your team can get involved, and then talk a little bit about how you can make sure your program is updated. Because that's a part we really want to emphasize with this project, is making sure that as we're building this community directory and building this network of organizations, we really want to empower you to help keep this up to date and make sure that our community has the most up-to-date information for your programs. So I'm going to start this assuming everyone has claimed. If you have not claimed yet, either ask us or go back, watch some of the videos previously or some of the materials we have. So when you claim, you get access to a dropdown for My Program Tools. And where I'll start today is under that dropdown, you have an option for My Team. My Team is where you can add other members of your organization to the programs that you offer. So that's how you can kind of manage who has access to what, and make sure that the right folks are on board so that they can answer those referrals and help people. So when I click My Team, I get access to this page, and you can see here there's a few things. If I look to this bottom part, you'll see all of my team members, and I'm on demo programs, so we have a lot of team members. And you can see their name and contact info, as well as what programs they're associated with, when the invite was sent, and then you have some options here to edit their level of access or to deactivate them if they no longer work at your organization. But when you go in for the first time, you're not going to have anybody else. It'll just be you. So what you'll want to do is click Invite Team Member, this big green button, and this allows you to add people. And especially if you all have done the claim process yourself, you know that that goes through our curation team. You get checked and make sure that you get access that way. Inviting a team member like this is essentially you providing that claim access, so they don't have to go through that same submission and everything. So it's the same info that you did when you submitted for a claim. It's just first name, last name, and an email. But what's really nice about this is if your organization has multiple programs that you offer, so if you do multiple things, you have multiple services, sometimes if your organization is small, one person might need to be associated with everything you do, right? We all wear many hats.
Mm-hmm.
But at a larger organization, a person might not need to know or work on everything that's happening across the organization, all of the different programs. So you can be picky and say, hey, this person only needs access to the healthcare clinic, right? This demo program I have here. So I can set that up, and I can choose this person can be associated with this program. And then I have two options for what role I want that person to have. So I can do admin or worker. The only difference, to keep it very simple for everyone, admins have the ability that you do to do more of that back end work. Things like editing the program, accessing the analytics and the data, changing how referrals need to get set up. All of the sort of setup and like this piece that we're talking about, that's an admin role. So if you're getting in here and doing this for the first time and you're setting these up, if there's anyone else at the organization, and this is a best practice, just generally speaking for Findhelp, but a best practice we want to kind of promote is, hey, is there someone else at your organization that can be an admin on this, right? Not just so it's not all on you to update or to go in and add things or, if anything changes, but also just so that there's another point of contact, right? And then also the other side of that, if you're not adding admin, the others would be workers. And so that's where if you have folks who work and they only need to respond to referrals, right? They just need to see who is seeking assistance and do, whatever appropriate intake and service that you all provide. You can set them up as worker, and that's really great because then they can't access anything. They can't get into anything that they don't need to have access to. You can just make sure that they get to where they need to actually help people. I see this a lot, not just for folks who have maybe specific folks working the services, also volunteers. This is a great way to get them involved and make sure that they are using the same tools without having to give them full access, right? It's very easy to kind of add them, set them up as a worker, and then when they're volunteering, they can use their login. And if not, great, we can deactivate them later. So a couple of options for adding team members. It's very flexible for what your organization's doing. You can really scale this and set this up the way that you need this to be set up. So once you have your team added and everyone is involved, then you'll be able to see them down here. And now when you look at this program list, this probably makes a little more sense. You can see the name of the program and the level of access they have. So at any point, if this changes, and let's say Amanda here is just a worker at our housing authority. Let's say, Amanda's doing great. She moved up from sort of being first intake, and now she's running some of the program. Let's say, yeah, she needs access to be an admin and to be able to take that ownership. I can just edit her her profile here, and you'll see that she's on this program and set as a worker. I can always set her as an admin, right? And if I update that, now she has access to all of the other pieces, right? So being able to update the program info, add team members, see the data, all of that. Any questions on my team? Cool. It's pretty straightforward. And if anyone watching this back has questions, feel free to reach out and let us know. The other piece I wanted to cover quickly today was under my program tools, there's the option for edit program listings. And this is where we're going to ask you all, once you claim and once you've gotten folks added at appropriate levels across your programs, again, talking about updating programs and making sure that that information is correct and that people are getting to you in the way that you need them to get to you. This is the page to do all of that. So a couple of very short little things. This button on the right-hand side, you can see each program has 3 buttons. So you can update this information by program because every program is going to be a little bit different probably. But each one on the right-hand side has this hours and locations button. To keep it very simple, that lets you change your hours and locations. It lets you set up different offices and say what hours are across the offices, that sort of thing. Then on the left-hand side, I'll go into this in a little more detail. This program button allows you to update all of the information that is available on your program card. So all of the information that's going out to the public that people are going to be looking at, you can tweak just about every piece of it that's out there for folks. So everything from the program name to how people need to reach you, all of your contact information. I want to specifically call out under about your program, there's an option here for is your program available to new clients? And this is our availability list. And what I really love about this is that it's not just binary. It's not just an open close. It allows you to be more specific and say, hey, our program is open, but, and then be more specific to let folks know and have a better idea of where you're at, right, with capacity. So are you open and available and no worries? Come on by. Great. Market is available. But if you also, hey, we're backed up a little bit. Most organizations are. That's not a bad thing. I know we're all pretty much at our limit nowadays. So being able to say, hey, we are on a wait list is really valuable just to, one, make sure that the people who are coming to you don't expect too much or understand where you're coming from, but also for our friends who are doing navigation on others' behalf, we want to make sure that we're presenting that accurately so that if I'm working with a client and trying to find them resources, I can accurately say, hey, you know, I think that this program is going to help you, but it might take a little bit longer. Let's try to find something for you immediately, right, to get you to that and be able to have a better plan for folks as we're helping them. In addition to being able to say, hey, we're full, we're at capacity, we're near capacity, you can also let folks know, hey, we're temporarily closed or we're out of funding. So again, ways that we can be proactive in messaging some of this to the folks who need services, just so that we're all operating with more information about what's going on. The program description is totally editable. That is, I'm biased because our curation team helps build all of these cards. They do a really good job of taking your words, if it might be on your sort of work that you do, and putting it into a description. But if it ever doesn't seem right, or you want to add more, or you just want to write it in your own words, feel free to edit that. You can then also edit things like the tags. So these are more specific to say what your program does, so the services you provide, as well as the populations. So if you have certain populations that you serve, like in this case, LGBTQIA+, or disabilities, veteran status, age groups. If you have a population specifically that this program serves, make sure that you list that. Additionally, we have a language support option. This is really important. I will focus on this. If your programs serve more languages than just English, please make sure you update this, because this is how our filter picks up what programs you, or excuse me, what languages your program serves, so that way when folks might be searching, hey, I need a program that supports Spanish speakers. That's how that shows up in our search. So what's important is making sure you have the appropriate languages selected. I want to call out, we do also have sign language, and there is interpretation service available. So maybe your program doesn't have someone on staff who speaks a language, but you work with a translation service. We have a way to denote that for folks when they're looking for services. And then finally, just a cost thing. Again, if you free reduced cost, that's pretty simple. If you have a more intricate, like a sliding scale or anything, feel free to drop any of that language in your program description. Again, looking towards just putting more information out for folks so that they can get the most information possible. All right, any questions? Liz, I think I got everything.
No, this is great. I'm going to stop our recording now, and
Sure.
then we'll move into just kind of an open Q&A with folks who are here.